You can start a YouTube channel that generates relocation leads with a couple $100s of gear and a corner in your room that you already have. Most agents are spending thousands of dollars and they're still not posting. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact minimal setup for a real estate YouTube channel. What to buy, what not to buy, what actually matters on camera, and what almost nobody watching your video will ever notice. By the end of the video, you'll have a complete shopping list, a total budget, and zero remaining excuses about gear. I speak to realtors on a weekly basis, and this pattern is almost comical. The agents with the most expensive setups post the least. The agents quietly closing inbound leads from YouTube are usually filming on a setup that costs less than all of the media for their last listing. I help realtors across the US build YouTube channels that generate inbound relocation leads. So when I break down what gear actually matters, this is what I'm telling my clients that I'm currently working with. Let me start with why most realtors get this completely wrong. See, gear becomes a procrastination tool. It feels like progress. You're doing your research for cameras for a couple weeks. You watch comparison videos, you read reviews, you debate full frame versus crop sensor, and by the end of that, you haven't recorded a single video. The gear obsession is almost always covering for something else. Fear of being on camera, uncertainty about what to say, the feeling that if the production quality looks polished enough that the content won't have to do as much work. And it doesn't work that way. A relocation buyer watching videos does not care about your camera. They care whether you sound like you know what you're talking about. They care whether they can hear you clearly. They care about whether you look like a real person that they can work with actually, right? And that's it. That's the entire visual bar. The agents who win on YouTube cleared that bar with cheap gear and never looked back. The agents stuck on research mode are still trying to clear a bar that nobody's asking them to clear. So here's the minimal setup broken into 4 things that actually matter. Category 1 is going to be audio. This is the only category where if you cheap out, it will hurt you. Bad audio is one of the things that viewers cannot ignore. They can forgive a soft focus shot or a slightly dim room or even an awkward cut, but they will never forgive an audio that sounds like you're recording inside of a closet. Audio is also where most realtors underspend because it's invisible until you hear it or don't. So you have 2 solid options at the entry level. A USB condenser microphone, roughly around $150 to $200, sitting just outside the frame or on a boom arm. Something like a Shure MV7 or something similar to that will work here. If you're going to be recording at different locations, you might want a wireless microphone like the DJI Micros or any of the DJI wireless options that they have. Pick one, not both, whichever one fits the way that you're actually going to be recording. And if you remember nothing else from this video, remember this: spend more on your microphone than your camera, always. The audience will thank you for it without ever knowing why. Then we got category 2, which is your camera. This is where most realtors overspend, if anything. You don't need a $2,000 mirrorless camera. You don't need cinema lenses. You don't even need 4K. You don't need any of the things that YouTube gear reviewers tell you that you need. For a talking head channel, which most realtors are going to be doing, you actually have 3 real options, and they are your phone. Your current generation iPhone or a Samsung phone will shoot better video than 90% of viewers will ever notice. And it costs $0 because you already own it. You have option 2, a used mirrorless camera, maybe the Sony ZV-E10 or a Canon M50. Really any model from the last few years will hold up perfectly for this. The benefit over a phone is better low light performance and maybe a little bit more cinematic shallow depth of field if that's something that you want. Option 3 is a webcam designed for content. You can mount it to your desk. It's not visually as nice as a camera, but it's completely acceptable, and I'll put a couple options on the bottom here. Most agents I work with start on their phone, and then if they see it as a benefit and they know they're going to be doing this for the long haul, then they'll upgrade to a mirrorless camera. That's the right order, not the other way around. So let's move on to category 3, which is the lighting. This is the cheapest category and the one that most agents skip completely. I recommend that you don't. A single softbox light or a basic LED panel, pretty cheap, any on Amazon will really work, positioned in front of you and slightly to one side will make almost any space look acceptable on camera. If you have a window with consistent natural light during your filming time, then you don't need to spend the money here. You can sit facing the window, good to go. The one mistake to avoid is overhead lighting. Your office ceiling lights will make it look like you're exhausted and 10 years older. Always light from the front, never from above. Let's take a quick break though. If you're watching this and you've already been spending months researching gear without actually publishing anything, that's the kind of stuck I help realtors get out of. So link is in the description for a free 30-minute call. Let's get back to it. So category 4 is your background. So this is not a category that you have to spend much money on, or if any at all. This is a category that you need to make a decision about and then stop thinking about it. You need one corner of your room that looks intentional, not professional, intentional. That means a backdrop that doesn't have visual chaos behind it. A clean wall with a bookshelf, with a book, or a couple of things that show who you are. A plant maybe a piece of art, not your laundry, not a stack of paperwork, not the back of an open door, not anything super chaotic. Pick one corner, set it up once, film there every time. Consistency matters more than novelty. And if you really want to invest 5 minutes here, add one small lamp behind you, slightly off to the side, because it creates a little bit of depth and separates you from the wall, which makes the shot look intentionally composed rather than accidental. And the cost here, well, you already own the lamp and probably all of the knickknacks that you're going to be putting on there, so you'll just need shelving. So let's put the whole budget together. So your microphone is probably going to be on the higher end, $150. Camera, $0 if you're gonna use your phone, about $400 if you're gonna find a mirrorless camera, maybe $600 on the higher end. You have lighting, about $60. You can find something on Amazon, or $0 if you're gonna use your window, and background. It's probably gonna be $0, but maybe, maybe $40, $50, depending on if you have to buy shelving and stuff like that. That's the entire setup. That's the bar. Anything past that is either personal preference or procrastination. This is the minimal setup that you need for a real estate YouTube channel. Audio, just remember you can't ignore it. Camera, your phone is good enough. Lighting, just make sure that it doesn't make you look tired. And background, just make sure it doesn't distract. Those 4 categories, one decision in each, you're done. And most realtors will read this list and immediately start looking for reasons it's not good enough. They'll convince themselves that their market is different, that their audience is more discerning, that their brand requires higher production, and none of that is true. A relocation buyer in Ohio researching to move to Florida is not gonna evaluate your camera. They're evaluating whether you sound like an agent who can actually help them. And if your gear meets the bar I just described and your channel still isn't working, the problem isn't the setup. The problem is something that I can actually help you fix. And if you want me to look at what's actually broken on your channel and tell you whether it's a content problem, a positioning problem, or something else entirely, the link to book a free strategy call is in the description below. And if this video saved you from spending another $1,500 to $2,000 on gear you don't need, please hit subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. We post content like this twice a week, every week, and we'll see you in the next video.